Good afternoon. Okay, let's try that one more time. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Hart, and I am a graduating BBA student at the Ross School of Business. On behalf of the graduating class of 2025, I am honored to welcome you all here to the Michigan Ross Commencement Ceremony. Our program will begin in a few minutes with the platform party processional. We have a few housekeeping notes before we begin. During the platform party processional, student recognition, and platform processional, we ask that all graduates please stay in their seats as we will be using all the aisles. To our guests, unfortunately, you cannot come down to the arena floor at any time. Sorry, Mom. Following the ceremony, we ask that guests leave the arena as quickly as possible, as there is another ceremony here this evening. Graduates will be released by the ushers and exit through the tunnel entrance to meet with your guests outside. To all the graduates in the room, congratulations. And to every guest in attendance today who helped us reach this major milestone in our lives, thank you. Thank you because you have helped cultivate a graduate who has embraced a school with the mission of building a better world through business. A graduate who has embraced a community of students who are restless for change in our world. Students who will build businesses that bolster the base of the world's economic pyramid, invest in innovation that begets collective prosperity, and will do all of this while advocating for policies that help us repair the breaches in our society. You have helped cultivate a graduate who has learned to discern the boundaries of what has traditionally been deemed possible and impossible. Having spent their most formative years at Michigan Ross, they are now prepared to make the impossible possible. So graduates, imbued with the confidence that Ross has given us, let's go forth from this stage today with the resolve to imminently transform the world. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sharon Matusik, the Dean here at the Ross School of Business, and it is truly our honor to welcome you to the 2025 Stephen M. Ross School of Business Commencement. Class of 2025, we are here today to celebrate you and recognize the tremendous achievements that brought you to this defining milestone moment in your lives, graduating from what we would all agree is the best business school in the world. Please be seated. Today, we come together as a community to celebrate our students. This graduating class includes first-generation college students, multi-generational U of M families, graduates, parents, veterans, and students from 49 different countries. You are future leaders who will have an important impact in your communities and the world, and are already shining examples of what it means to always be striving to be leaders and best. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of the family members and friends of our graduates who have come from around the country and around the world to be here in person, and also a special thank you to those joining us via live stream. Your support was absolutely essential in getting our graduates to where they are today. At this point, I'd like to invite all of the students to look for your family members and friends, hopefully you know where they are, and show them how much you appreciate the support they've given you all over the years. Big round of applause. And I also want to extend a very special welcome to our Provost, Lori McCauley, Regent Michael Beam, Regent Emerita Shauna Ryder-Diggs, and to Andre Branch, our commencement keynote speaker. Thank you so much for joining us. As I look out at all of you, our truly amazing students who are graduating today, I have to say this year is an especially meaningful one for me. In just a week, my own daughter, our oldest, will be graduating from college. And I have to admit, watching her reach this milestone has given me another lens through which to see today. Like many parents here, I'm struck by all the cliches about how quickly the time goes. Don't you agree, parents? And I find myself being especially reflective about what to say to her and to all of you today on this graduation day. Many of you know, as a first-generation college student myself, how deeply I believe in the power of education to truly transform lives and the world around us. So it probably comes as no surprise that when I think about my daughter and her college graduation, my mind quickly goes to her school experiences when she was young and how those shaped her. One image that keeps coming back to me time and time again is dropping her off at her middle school each morning. There's this park and a bench right in front of that school, and every student would pass it every single day when they walked into that building. I can still picture it clearly, simple, a little worn, and engraved with the words, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." The quote is typically credited to Mahatma Gandhi, though it turns out it's a little bit of a paraphrase. But we walked past that bench so many times, it was easy to stop noticing it. But that message was always there, day in and day out. Maybe covered with snow in the winter, maybe covered with backpacks and books at other times of the year. But that phrase has kept coming back to me time and time again over the years. At first glance, it's very simple, maybe too simple. But the more you think about it, the more powerful it becomes. Be the change. Not demand it of others, not wait for it, not hope that someone else will do it. Be it. In other words, if you want to live in a world that values seeking knowledge and understanding, lead by showing that yourselves. If you want to work in a place that values integrity, respect, excellence, humility, and accountability, make that your standard. If you want a world that values character, community, and connection, that starts with you. There's so much going on in the world around us right now. Every kind of uncertainty, from the geopolitical to technology, the economy, the environment, and beyond. At times, it can feel overwhelming or like you can't make a difference. But where there are challenges, there are so many opportunities. What matters isn't just how we get through a challenge, but how we decide to lead and set an example that we are all proud of. And here's what gives me great hope. I look out at you, class of 2025, and I have such incredible optimism for our future. I speak on behalf of all of our faculty and staff in saying we are incredibly proud of you and that you will be representing Michigan Ross in the world. Among you today are winners in the Global Venture Capital Investment Competition, beating out Kellogg and Booth. An entrepreneur who developed and sold a cancer diagnostic tool. We'll just applaud all of them. 7 national champion athletes and an Olympic medalist. And tremendous dual degree musicians, artists, engineers, scientists, and lawyers. On top of your academic excellence, you have demonstrated drive, tenacity, perseverance, humility, and superhuman teamwork. You've taken on complex challenges with bold ideas. You've supported each other through uncertainty with great resolve. You're not waiting for someone to tell you what to do. You're already leading day in and day out through your actions. So today, as you walk across this stage and into your next chapter, I'll offer you the same advice I plan to give to my daughter. Be present in the world around you. Keep noticing the quiet reminders and take strength in these. In other words, take time out to appreciate that park and that park bench. But more than anything, be the change in the world you wish to see. Not because it's easy, but because we build a better world by the many decisions we make day in and day out. Change and progress start with each of us and how we show up in the world. On behalf of all of us at Michigan Ross, our most heartfelt congratulations to each of you on earning your degree. Go boldly, Michigan Ross class of 2025, and forever go blue. Round of applause for our graduating students. Next in our program, you'll hear from 2 graduating students chosen by their peers to speak at graduation. We'll first hear from Jaden Douglas, followed by... Jaden comes with a fan club, I love it. And then we will hear from Priya Ganji. So Jaden, stage is yours.
Good afternoon, distinguished faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2025. Today is a day of celebration, reflection, and excitement. 4 years ago, we walked into Ross eager to take advantage of all the opportunities. Unbeknownst to us were some of the most pressing challenges associated with being a student. Finding a seat in the winter garden, mounting enough courage to kick someone out of a study room, and squeezing in a Starbucks order before class. In all seriousness, yes, the experience at Ross has truly been life-changing. However, we had to fight hard to earn every ounce of success. Club recruitment had the intensity of a job interview, minus the salary. The pressure of the Ross curve once led me to spend over 8 hours on a learning log in BA 200. Risks had our Google calendars looking like rainbows, with all the events and team meetings scheduled. We are all highly driven individuals, something we take for granted. Coming from high school, where we were all top students and leaders, it might have been a shock to be surrounded by students of equal caliber or more talent. This created a pressure to somehow outbest the students here who already make up the best of emerging business talent. Unfortunately, this competitive pressure sometimes gets the best of us, leading to imposter syndrome and burnout. And this same pressure is present in the transition to our professional lives. However, I encourage us to approach pressure the way legendary football coach Bo Schembechler did. Pressure is a privilege. It means something great is expected. As business leaders and Ross graduates, we will be placed in positions of high importance and trust. This pressure is a sign of the belief others have in us and the expected results from us. It is an honor and opportunity not only to uphold Michigan's tradition of excellence, but the one expected of yourself. We must not lose ourselves in the pressure. It's hard not to compare myself when everyone seems to be achieving something big. In these moments, instead of thinking about the work, accolades, and money, look to your communities. The ones who were there with you to celebrate the successes. The ones who were there to bring you back up after your lowest moments. The people who reviewed your resume over 20 times and stayed up late to mock for hours before your big super day. This is not just your average network. Ross has cultivated a community where teamwork is expected and friendships are for life. Ross has also prepared us to be leaders who don't just adapt to change, but drive it. My grandpa once told me, if you're not in possession, get in position. While he applied this to my scoreless drought in my soccer days, this quote has broader implications, especially in the business world. As we start our careers in entry-level positions where one may think we lack control over the outcome of a situation, we must stay engaged and ready to act, taking advantage of any opportunities that come our way. When embracing a future riddled with ambiguity, I like to reflect on my first musical, Seussical, the musical, and the idea that anything's possible. Let that be our mantra as we take on new roles, industries, and opportunities. With hard work, creativity, and the courage to stick to your values, the possibilities are truly endless. Class of 2025, we made it. Today, we celebrate not just the end of a chapter, but the beginning of an exciting new one. As we leave here, let's carry the Michigan spirit with us, going forth with pride, purpose, and an unwavering belief that we are truly capable of making a difference. Forever and always, go Blue!
Good afternoon, proud families and friends, world-renowned faculty, and most importantly, the incredibly accomplished graduating class of 2025 of the Ross School of Business. I am Priya Ganji, a one-year Master of Management student here to remind you of something special on this big day. Before that, let's take a moment to soak it all in. Take a deep breath. Come on. Look around you at your friends, family, mom and dad, everyone here, and beyond, cheering you on. Today is a big day, not just because we've almost mastered wearing these hats, but because we've made it. We are graduating from one of the most prestigious business schools in the world. Let that sink in, because we're officially qualified to use words like scalable and synergy in normal conversations. When I first walked into the Ross building, I admit, I was a little intimidated. I mean, look at the place. It's not exactly subtle. It's like the building is whispering, "You're here to change the world, or at least look like you're trying to do so." But over the past year, I've come to admire exactly that. The drive, the inspiration, and the sense of possibility you feel just by stepping through its doors. I've had the opportunity to expand my horizons by exploring Italian family businesses over spring break, consulting for a $1 million startup, and building friendships with people I now consider family. As we sit here today, I can say I am not only walking out with a better understanding of business, but with a better sense of who I am and the future I want to create. Our one-year master's family consists of over 330 students coming from 12 countries and 5 continents. But our Ross family doesn't stop there. Across all Ross programs, we have over 1,550 students graduating here today from 49 countries and 6 continents, bringing together a kaleidoscope of cultures, ideas, and experiences. Together, we've learned that this kaleidoscope isn't just a buzzword, but our greatest strength. Plus, where else can you have a conversation that starts with international marketing, pivots to cricket, and ends with pizza from Joe's? And let's not forget our highly esteemed faculty, who somehow find the time to teach, conduct research, and consult with companies across the world. They've challenged us, guided us, and yes, occasionally terrified us, especially when the cold call roulette lands on your name. But through it all, they've been our greatest cheerleaders. Thank you for shaping us into the leaders we are today, and for proving that even a SWOT analysis can feel exciting if you squint hard enough. Now, as we prepare to leave Ross and step into the big, unpredictable world, I want to share a final thought, the something special I mentioned earlier. The bridges we've built here will carry us forward. These bridges span countries, industries, and even the countless group projects where someone may have a conflict every time the deadline hits. But, as always, we pulled through. We are Wolverines, of course. These relationships will sustain us, inspire us, and remind us that no matter where we go, we're never alone. Ross has given us not just a degree, but a legacy, a network of over 1,550 people in this room and countless others beyond it who share the Michigan Ross spirit. Don't forget those bridges you've built here. And if you ever do so, don't worry, because LinkedIn is there to remind you. So, here's to us, the dreamers, the doers, and yes, the survivors of stats class. Let's go out there and make our mark. Let's innovate, create, and disrupt a few industries for the better. But most importantly, let's continue to build bridges between ideas, people, and possibilities. Congratulations, class of 2025. The world is waiting for you. It's about to get a whole lot better because of you. So thank you, and as always, go blue.
Thank you, Jaden and Priya. I really appreciate the themes around seeing and acting on opportunities and building bridges. That's fantastic. All right, so next we're going to recognize several award recipients, beginning with some faculty awards. First and foremost, I want to recognize one of our faculty who was just inducted into the National Academy of Sciences, which is one of the absolute top honors in the academic world. Can I please ask Scott Page to stand and please give him a big round of applause. It's a super big deal, and we're incredibly proud of Scott. Also, I'd like to recognize our 2025 NERI Teaching Excellence Award winners who are joining us on the platform. These awards are voted on by students in each program and recognize the faculty who have gone above and beyond in working with the students. We're grateful for the support for these awards provided by the late Bob Neary, a BBA graduate, and his wife, Janet. So I'm going to ask each recipient to stand when I call your name, and please hold your applause until all are standing. Lindsay Gallo for the Masters of Accounting program. I knew they would never be able to stay quiet. Sanjeev Kumar for the Masters of Business Analytics program. Puneet Manchanda for the Global MBA program. Will Thomas for the BBA program. And Dave Wooten for the PhD program. One more big round of applause for all of these folks. You can be seated. I'd also like to recognize the teaching award winners who could not join us in person today. Ryan Ball for the Masters of Management program. Mike Barger for the full-time MBA program. Damian Bell for the Masters of Supply Chain Management. Sergio Chayette for the weekend MBA program. Betsy Irwin for the online MBA program. And Ite Kama for the executive MBA program. Next, I would like to acknowledge the recipients of the 2025 Student Awards who are sitting with their respective groups on the arena floor. All of these student award winners were chosen by their peers. When I call your name, please stand to be recognized. I'm going to ask you to hold your applause till the end, although I'm not sure you're going to do it. All right. The Frank S. Moran Distinguished Leadership Awardees, Michael Hart and Ziyi Li Yu. The Global Citizenship Award winners are Cameron Allen and Dan Rosenfield. And lastly, the recipients of the Michigan Ross Outstanding Leadership Awards from the Sanger Center, Leo Gabarone, Allison Jacobs, Blake Pradko, Niril Shaw, Matusha Singh, Peter Woodman, and Jeff Joe. Big round of applause for all of these student award winners. Our community is so much stronger by having people like you in it. We begin conferring degrees with the recognition and hooding of our doctoral graduates and candidates. Not only are these PhD candidates graduating today, but we are welcoming them into the academy, our global community of researchers and faculty members. What they have achieved is incredibly challenging. Not only have they mastered complex concepts, methods, and modeling techniques, but they are pushing the boundaries of what we know. Knowledge discovery through research is critical to helping us understand the critical world around us and improving our future. It requires not only impressive intellect, but it requires persistence, resilience, and an intellectual curiosity that few have. These individuals will play an absolutely critical role in shaping all of our futures through their role as business scholars and educators. To recognize these PhD students, I'd like to invite Roman Kapuczynski, Senior Associate Dean for Faculty and Research, to the podium.
So I'm Roman Kapuściński, Senior Associate Dean for Faculty and Research. And let me start with the fact. Ross School was founded in 1924. So for 100 years, 10 months and 1 day, we are the powerhouse of research and teaching. On the research side, it's very easy to see our mark on history of business education. We actually created a list of 100 ideas that originated here at Ross, and they include the very known names like CK's Corp competences, fortune of the business at the bottom of the pyramid, positive organizational scholarship, and 97 other ideas that you can check on the website without me listing here. On the teaching side, it's also very impressive. We have multiple innovative programs. We are basically heavy teaching impressive students who, according to our motto, go out and make the world a better place through business. Students do spend different lengths of the time in our programs. So 1 year master's program spent 1 year here at Michigan. MBAs typically spend 2 years. BBAs spent 4 years. But with this one group that we are going to recognize, PhDs actually spent 5 years and sometimes even longer here at Ross. And they are actually part of the mission that intersects teaching and research. So when they are at Ross, they are students. They are students who are trained to be future leaders, scholars, researchers. But also, when they are at Ross, they are already involved in research. They are writing papers with their advisors. They are creating the work that makes Michigan famous. They allowed Ross research to shine. After graduation, they get jobs as researchers, scholars, often professors at different universities, and they continue to demonstrate how good they are and show the greatness of Michigan research around the world. So this year we have 15 doctoral students who are graduating, and in a moment we'll be witnessing the hooding ceremony. So what is hooding ceremony? It's a ceremony that started in medieval European universities in 12th century, and that recognized doctoral graduates as they begin their academic careers. So that symbolized transition to scholars, passing generation from one to next, commitment to continued learning, and actually when you look at candidates which were hooded at that time, many future kings and popes were actually going through this ceremony. So the candidates have a nice tradition behind it. So we'll see in a moment each graduating student coming here to the podium and being hooded, and they will be hooded by their advisors. So their advisor will stand, and it will be the official passing to the next generation. So I will be inviting doctoral candidates and their advisors to this podium. So I'm going to read each of them. Kendall Lynch, Field of Specialization Accounting, The Effect of Self-Reporting Policies on Cross-Border Investment, Evidence from the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. You will see how impressive each of them sounds. Yiman Ren, Business and Economics, Essays on Financial Economics. Mayank Kumar, Finance, 3 essays in corporate finance. Bharat Dolankar, Marketing, Essays on Polarization on Social Media. Yunjin Sang, Marketing, Understanding Psychological Challenges in Environmentally Sustainable Consumption. Yeah. Young-Ha Cho, Strategy, Essays on Workers' Meaning-Making of Algorithms, a Case of Context Creators on Social Media Platforms. Suzy Choi, Strategy, Identity-Based Competition, How Identity Shapes Producers, Market Positioning and Stratification. David Chang, Strategy, The Theory of the Firm in the Platform Economy. Wei-Kung Yang, Strategy, Innovation, Resource Allocation, and Corporate Strategy. Derek Leaf, Strategy, Exploring Non-Monetary Incentives, the Influence of Religion and Other Factors on Employee Behavior and Entrepreneurship. Alice Liang, Technology and Operations, Product Return Management at Large Scale, Effective Joint Decision Making supported by Comprehensive Performance Metrics. Claire Snyder, Technology and Operations, on Worker Behavior in the AI-Enabled Service Triad. Jung-Ho Bei, Technology and Operations, Optimizing Battery Use for a More Sustainable Energy System. Zijin Zhan, Technology and Operations, Essays on Data-Driven Decisions and Insights. One of faculty doesn't let the previous student go. Fen Zhou, Technology and Operations, Socially Responsible Operations, Essays in Health Access and Food Waste. Congratulations to all PhD graduates. Go around the world and make us famous.
Next on our program, you'll hear from our third graduating speaker, Christian Breimer. Please join me in welcoming Christian.
Anyone who rides their bike in Ann Arbor from October to March knows one thing for sure. It's cold here. But it's even colder if you're not the one pedaling. Few know that better than my 4-year-old daughter, Frida, who hitches a ride on the back of my bike to get to preschool. On the morning of her first single-digit ride, I remember bundling her in layer after layer until she looked like a little pink marshmallow with nothing but 2 bright blue eyes poking out. As I helped her get on her boots, I looked into those eyes and I told her, "It's going to be cold today, Frida. But that's okay, because Breimers are tough," she responded before I could finish. And while Breimers are tough had been a mantra in our home for a few months at that point, it's a truth that I've known my whole life. I saw it in my dad, who used to prescribe tough pills for all of my bumps, cuts, and scrapes, in my sister as she set new personal bests while swimming with a broken arm, and in my mom as she cared for her aging parents while severe dementia relentlessly stole them away. Their actions assure me that my girls speak the truth when they say Brimers are tough. All right, so now that we all know what a Brimer is, let's get to the question we're really here for. What is a Rosser? We have our own slogans and mantras that try to answer that question for us, say, leaders and best. But nobody takes out a student loan because of a slogan. Think instead of the people who inspired you to join this community. Think of the students, the alumni, the faculty, who showed you this was a place worth being a part of, that your place at Ross was a place worth earning. And today, we stand on their shoulders. We gain the benefit of the mental shortcut others take when the name Ross gets attached to our own, of a reputation built not by us, but by those who came before. Now, as we graduate, our legacies intertwine with theirs, and the nature of the question, what is a Rosser, changes. A Rosser looks like you, works like you, builds like you, takes risks like you, and cares like you. We no longer ask the question, we answer it by the way we carry ourselves every day. Today, we carry the responsibility that comes with that reputation. And let's be honest, reputation is a fragile thing. And we can tarnish it more easily than we could uphold it if we decide to cut corners, serve only ourselves, or rest on our laurels, treating our degree from Ross as if it's the finish line rather than the starting point. Presented with these options, I invite you to join me in this challenge. Let's honor those who laid this foundation before us by building upon it. Let's lead with courage, innovate with passion, and build something we can truly say we're proud of. Let's make our mark, and not just for ourselves, but for the families who raised us, the children who will follow us, the communities we'll shape, and yes, even for this school. Together, let's show the world what it truly means to be a Rosser. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. When I considered who to invite to be our keynote commencement speaker, I looked for someone who is a role model for the type of leader we aspire to develop here at Ross. A person who not only has a successful career, but who always continues to make a profound impact on society and the future of business. Andre Branch embodies these qualities. His career has been highly successful and varied, as many of your careers will likely be. A seasoned C-suite executive with over 25 years leading and building brands in the consumer packaged good and luxury sectors. Andres most recently served as a general manager of MAC Cosmetics in North America after holding significant roles at Kraft Foods, Diageo, and L'Oreal, and leading iconic luxury brands including Viktor & Rolf, Flower Bomb, Diesel, Stella McCartney, and Ralph Lauren. Andre is also an independent board director for Signet Jewelers, Partnership with Children, and the Apollo Theater. He's also a proud MBA alumnus and a tireless ambassador and advocate for the Ross School. Please join me in welcoming Andre to the stage.
think I'm a little taller than the dean. All right, good afternoon, Dean Matusik, distinguished faculty and guests, parents, family, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2025. There we go. It is an immense honor to be here as your commencement speaker at my cherished alma mater and soon to officially be yours. I want to start by congratulating you all on this incredible achievement. Completing studies at the best business school in the world, yes, is no small feat. And I'm sure you spent many a late night finishing that case study that turned out to be way more complex than you thought. But of course, you couldn't miss the tailgating at the big house. Maybe for some of you, surviving the Michigan winters was a feat in and of itself. For the family and friends who are here, the winters are like the business school version of a wilderness survival reality TV show, in case you didn't know. It gets cold. It's the only thing I don't miss about Ann Arbor. But whatever form adversity showed up in your life as during your studies, you were able to overcome it and accomplish your goal, and for that you should be immensely proud. I came to Ann Arbor from Baltimore, and back in 1999, I sat where you are today, full of hopes and dreams and optimism, convinced that I had something to offer this world, determined to witness success, and also happy that I didn't have to go to any more statistics classes. But I was fortunate enough to be part of the 90+% of you who had a job waiting for me as soon as I was handed my degree on the dais. And at that time, my only thoughts were about the amazing career in life that I would have now being part of this new elite group of graduates. It wasn't until some years later that I truly understood and appreciated the weight of responsibility that we as business leaders have and how much the decisions and behaviors we employ actually transcend business, stretching further to impact humanity itself. The school's mission is to build a better world through business. And as you transition from students to leaders on the world stage, I hope that you consider the great responsibility and the unique opportunity you have to continue to uplift humanity, because humanity needs you. Now, to be clear, we are living in an era of abundance. The average life expectancy is the longest it's ever been. We're experiencing a revolution in AI that will add trillions to the economy in the years to come. For my fellow Americans in the audience, we live in a country where diversity is our superpower, and the promise of being a better nation and the freedom to dare to dream make us the best in the world. There's a beautiful quote from one of my heroes, Frederick Douglass. He was a Baltimore man, by the way. And he said, "I know of no soil better adapted to the growth of reform than American soil. I know of no country where the conditions for effecting great changes in the settled order of things for the development of right ideas in religion, governments, and society are more favorable than here in these United States." That's as true now as it was during the 19th century. However, there are constant threats to this abundance. Challenges such as global warming, setbacks from COVID, like learning poverty, political discourse, the recoil from globalization, the list goes on. So it is my hope that as you seek glory and achievement in your careers, as you should, you also see yourself as a broader leader with the responsibility to improve the global condition, because the world is looking for the next generation of leaders to step forward. But not just any leader, leaders with the right stuff. Here's a quick anecdote. I'm from Maryland, as I mentioned, and Marylanders are never satisfied with the seafood that we find in any other place outside of Maryland. You guys know that? Anybody know anybody from Maryland? You ever go to a restaurant with us? We love our seafood, but we're the biggest snobs when it comes to seafood. And we know it's risky. We go out to a restaurant, and sometimes, we're missing our home state, but we can't help it. We're craving a genuine Maryland crab cake. And our friends look at us and they roll their eyes. They've seen this movie before. They know what's going to happen. We order the crab cake. We take a bite. And of course, it doesn't look like a Maryland crab cake. It doesn't taste like a Maryland crab cake. And we knew it wasn't going to be as good as that. But we were hoping that maybe they just get it right. But they often don't get it right. because they're missing one essential ingredient. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it is Old Bay seasoning. That's the difference between an excellent Maryland crab cake and a distant and poor substitute. The essential ingredient. And I think it's an apropos analogy for leadership. During my journey, I've had the great fortune to walk alongside a wide variety of leaders. And what I noticed is that the best, the greats I call them, all had three things in common. Three ingredients that made them stand head and shoulders above the rest. And without these ingredients, to steal a term from my 11-year-old daughter and my 13-year-old son, a leader might be described as just being mid. I think that means being mediocre for some of the older generations. But the world isn't looking for mid leaders. It's looking for exceptional leaders. And I want to talk to you now about the three ingredients for exceptional leadership that I want you to consider as you start your journey. And the first is courage. Courage is what shows up when we understand the risks and perceived dangers, but proceed despite the fear. However, being courageous isn't easy. The reality is that most of us are easily sedated by inertia because we perceive the risk or effort to be too great. But complacency has its own risk. Where would we be without the Soviet Union naval officer who disobeyed orders and prevented nuclear war during the Cuban Missile Crisis, even though it could have meant his being accused of treason? Or without the disabled Queens, New York high school teacher who put her 30-year career on the line by speaking out against passing students along to meet quotas when they demonstrated no proficiency in the curriculum. Indeed, it is the courageous among us that keep disaster away, that hoist society up to higher ground and elevates our collective well-being. And yes, it exacts a toll. But great leaders know that regardless of the price, and even if we feel the fear, we must answer that call. Nothing gets better without courage. When the moments come, and they will come, find your courage with your profession, with your partner, with your families and friends, and you will realize a fulfilling life that unlocks all your potential with no regrets, and society will be better off for it. The second ingredient is purpose. My grandparents were children of the Jim Crow era, but they knew the world was changing and that it would create opportunities for our family. They wanted us to be able to take advantage of that. They believed in the dreams of Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy. They had a vision of each generation after them fulfilling the American dream and living a life without limitations. And they saw access to education as the holy grail that would light the pathway. They poured into their children and their grandchildren. They were my guardian angels who would see to it that the dreams they had for me were realized. My grandfather was a building maintenance supervisor. My grandmother was a janitor in the Baltimore City public school systems. And we couldn't afford childcare, so my grandmother would take me to work with her every day, starting at the age of 3. As my mother worked, it was my grandparents who tutored me after school and chauffeured me around to my basketball and baseball games. Many years later, although they didn't get to see most of it, and my grandfather never got to see any of it, I became the first MBA in the family, the first independent board director of a publicly traded Fortune 500 company, the first in the family to be a senior corporate executive of a global organization. The list of firsts go on and on. But it was all because of the purpose. Thank you. All because of the purpose and the why of James and Jackie Allen. When you have a strong enough why, anything is achievable. I learned that from a building supervisor and a janitor. But here's the thing about purpose. Once you discover what it is, know that it's yours and yours alone. No one needs to endorse it. No one needs to understand it. Whatever you choose to be, however you decide to show up, some people will love it and some people will not. Your cause, your why is for you and only you. You need to accept that because the world is a tricky place. And if you're not careful, you'll believe you must sacrifice your essence to be successful. and it would be the biggest mistake of your life because it will dim your light. It will suppress your greatness, and you all have greatness within you. You're not for everybody. We were never meant to be. And sometimes that can be a lonely road, but that's where the trailblazers tread. So lead with purpose. The third and final ingredient is having the right guiding values. I'm going to share something with you guys. For over 20 years now, I've been training in a martial art called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ as it's known colloquially. For people who know me, they know I love to talk about it because I just think it's such a beautiful art. There's poetry, bonding, and wellness, and the physical struggle of it all. And that feeds the soul. I train at a gym in New York. We call it the Blue Basement. Because you come in, you descend down the stairs, and you go to the training area. All the walls and the floors are covered with blue mats. Blue Basement. Now, the objective of BJJ is to wrestle your opponent to the ground and finish him with a joint lock or a chokehold. To prevent that from happening, they must submit or tap out. When we do well, we say, us. When we screw up, we say, us. And after training for so many years, I discovered that the values by which one lives on the mat to become a great BJJ practitioner are similar to the values by which one should live to be a great leader, an exceptional leader. And I want to share 5 values that I took from the Blue Basement to the boardroom because I believe they are universal and can lead to success in any walk of life. So here we go. Number 1, lead with humility and watch wisdom follow. Every now and then you get a visitor that comes to roll with the class and wants to show us how skilled or how tough he is. He can be quite aggressive in his approach. And that's when the instructor watching from across the room makes eye contact with one of the better players and matches the aggressor with someone who teaches him a lesson. A more experienced and tougher guy than the tough guy. And inevitably, the would-be challenger realizes his ego got the best of him and learns the lesson. Sometimes he's so embarrassed or humiliated that he never comes back. And the lesson is that attitude is everything in life. Positivity and humility create allies and build support. Life doesn't have to be a zero-sum game of winners and losers. If you want to get the most out of your experiences in life, show up with a learning attitude and listening ears, and approach it all with a sense of humility and gratefulness. Number 2, be a fragrance, not an odor. Now, it doesn't happen often, thankfully, but sometimes we come across people who were never taught that washing your training gear after rolling around in a hot room for over an hour with humans is a good idea. Do you know what happens to an outfit that's drenched in sweat and left in a locker to dry out over the next few days? It starts to grow limbs, and when you open up the locker, it walks out to greet you. Needless to say, no one wants to roll with the guy in the smelly gear. He soon finds himself to be an outcast and invokes the ire of the entire school. People turn their noses up at odors. As you go out into the world, think about how you can be a fragrance in someone's life, not an odor. Consciously consider how you can leave the folks that you touch on any given day with a gift that was simply their interaction with you. Because I've found that the saying is true. You get a lot more with honey than you do with vinegar. Number 3, keep resilience and patience in endless quantity and equal measure. You know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a physical chess game that moves in inches. When addressing an opponent, it's the small incremental movements that open a window of opportunity and enable you to control and eventually dominate them. Literally half an inch in one direction or another can be the determinant of success or failure. When introduced to the challenges in life, they can be intimidating and overwhelming. We often seek success or resolution immediately, and we can give up on our vision when it doesn't come true in the time frame that we want. But life, my friends, is a marathon, not a sprint. And anything worth having or overcoming is worth waiting for. So be patient with your progress and stay focused on your dreams. But your patience must be matched by your resilience. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you find yourself in uncomfortable positions all the time. There's nothing worse than a 250-pound hairy guy with no t-shirt sitting on your chest with arms the size of tree trunks trying to smother your nose and mouth into his chest at 7 in the morning. Yes, pajama party at 7 in the morning. Come join me. But somehow, some way in that moment, if you can still your mind and find a tiny air pocket and breathe through that like a straw until he makes a mistake, maybe he shifts his weight just so, or in a moment of transition, he alleviates the pressure. You can turn the tides and win. You'll have those moments in life when it feels like 300 pounds are sitting right in the center of your chest, making it hard to breathe. But don't give up. Keep fighting. You only lose when you stop. At some point, things have to shift. Wait for your opportunity. Be resilient in pursuing your purpose. Be resilient in your relationships. Be resilient in the pursuit of your dreams. In BJJ, we say that a black belt is just a white belt who never quit. Number 4, love failure as much as you love success. When we train, we spend time sparring to apply the skills we've learned. Now, the novice goes into each sparring session trying to win, but the master goes into each sparring session attempting to learn. The problem with trying to win every session is that you only stick to the techniques that you know because you're good at that. It's a risk mitigation strategy. To grow, however, you must try new things. Inevitably, it leaves you exposed because you're often not very good at the new technique. The paradox of it all is that the only way you get to mastery is by trying to do the thing you're not good at. Some days you're the hammer, and some days you're the nail. In life, just like jiu-jitsu, you learn infinitely more by being the nail than you do by being the hammer. To constantly expand your capabilities and your potential, you must expose yourself to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new challenges. You must become a version of yourself that doesn't exist. And you are bound to fail initially. And when the lights dim and you feel like you're not just as good as you had hoped to be, and everything makes you look a little bit silly or you feel embarrassed, know that that is precisely where you want to be. And when these moments come, we say, "Us," and we go again. Be fine with being the nail. Embrace a mindset that welcomes failure and recognizes it as growth that will ultimately make you the hammer. And finally, number 5, reputation is formed in the wake of character. Be mindful of the ripples you leave in life. In BJJ, you entrust your health and mortality to the people with whom you train. When we've lost the battle and we're ready to submit to our opponent, we tap out. And your training partner immediately releases you. Doing so allows us to grow in the art because we trust one another to do more complex and highly destructive moves without injuring each other. To thrive in our community, you must be a person of integrity. And sometimes we see people getting ahead in life who seem to have used methods of dishonesty, subversion, fill in the blank of the dastardly thing to their benefit. In almost every situation I've seen where that was the case, their wayward ways eventually caught up to them. And I want to urge you to never be influenced by the by any means approach to progress. You will find that the thing you tolerate is the thing you become. Without integrity, we create a society of fear and destruction. We are all in this together and responsible for creating an environment that nourishes our growth as individuals and as a community. So align yourself with the people in the organization that hold similar values, those that hold you to the standards with which you hold yourself. Always show up with integrity. And so, in closing, to the class of 2025, I hope that you will answer the call, because exceptional people are called to do exceptional things. As you go out into the world with your new shiny degrees, remember that you're not just working in business, but you're also working through business to shape the world. And it takes exceptional leadership, leaders with the right stuff, the right ingredients to change the world. And humanity needs you. It needs you to step boldly into the great game, knowing that courage isn't the absence of fear. Rather, it's choosing to act because the possibility matters more than the fear itself. It needs you to find your unbreakable and unapologetic why, because with a strong enough why, anything is possible. And it needs you to be relentless in the pursuit of your dreams, but to be even more relentless in holding true to your character. And if one day you find yourself a little stuck and in need of a helping hand, bring your gear and come hang out with me in the Blue Basement. Thank you for listening, and congratulations again. Go Blue. Us.
That was amazing. Thank you. Before we continue with the conferral of degrees, I want to take a few minutes to share with you who makes up our extraordinary graduating class. Today we have over 1,500 students graduating from Ross. This includes 17 doctoral philosophy candidates, 531 Masters of Business Administration students, 47 of whom are earning dual degrees, 328 students from our one-year master's programs, and 617 Bachelors of Business Administration, 17 with dual degrees. Earlier today, we hosted an induction ceremony for Beta Gamma Sigma, the International Honor Society for Business Students. Beta Gamma Sigma honors are awarded to the top 10% of graduating BBA students and the top 20% of graduating master's students. Will those with Beta Gamma Sigma honorees who are with us please stand to be recognized? We now move on to the conferral of the master's and undergraduate degrees. I have the honor on behalf of the Stephen M. Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan to present the candidates for Masters of Business Administration, Masters of Accounting, Masters of Business Analytics, Masters of Management, Masters of Supply Chain Management, and Bachelors of Business Administration. I invite Provost Macaulay to the podium to officially recognize the candidates.
Good afternoon. It is such a pleasure to be here today and celebrate your success. Graduates, today marks a momentous occasion. All of you have demonstrated exceptional dedication, intellectual curiosity, and impressive creativity to be here today. As future leaders, you will become ambassadors of one of the finest business schools in the world. You will carry forward our commitment to innovative thinking and positive social impact. I'm honored to share this tremendous personal milestone with you. And most of all, I'm excited to see how you will fortify the business world with excellence and integrity that define the University of Michigan. Congratulations, graduates. On behalf of the Board of Regents of the University of Michigan, I'm pleased to recognize these candidates with degrees conferred upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Stephen M. Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan.
All right, so that is official. I now invite you to stand. Please stand, everyone. Now I want you to move your tassels from the right to the left. Fantastic. All right, have a seat. We're now going to do the recognition portion of the ceremony. Ushers, please assist the candidates to the platform so we can individually recognize each and every student who is graduating. I invite associate deans to join when their graduates cross the platform. And I now invite our student speakers to lead the candidates across the platform.
Christian Breimer.
Priya Ganji.
Jayan Douglas.
Online MBA, Niral Shah.
Tenzin Dadul.
Hannah Bondi.
Robert Oruche.
Jonathan McKella.
Anthony Bihi.
Brett Dingman.
Tianyi Sheng.
Behe Upapalapati.
Jordan Gorelik.
Kayla Sims.
Matt Rizzo.
Jared Stein.
Slavomir Sadowitz.
Kayla Adam.
Raymond Chulinsky.
Anuj Bhatia.
Jawei Chin.
Matthew Corey.
Joan Rodriguez.
Megan Weston.
Lindley French.
Jeffrey Doran.
Arsalan Tayab.
Ajay Sharma.
Kevin Katko.
John Treadway.
Ishan Desai.
Debdu Pijush.
David Lushan.
Megan Slayers.
Jacob Carl Lindquist.
Dan Eisenberg.
Tian Wang.
Sarah Roberts.
Gino Lolio.
Jose Vasquez.
Carl Morelli.
Hillary Branch.
Eric
Stefano Maloney.
Jay Mehta.
Global MBA, Shreya Javeri.
Ruanti Amershahim.
Hemshri,
Utah Kishi.
Brian Lin.
Kitima Churap Pursert.
Mishba Burhanuddin.
Siruish Samat Tarukul.
Tor Prawan Praprat.
Derry Dino Laurentiis.
Shoy Charo Nizima.
Bichaya Savalip Ponlab.
Ekapon Larvisit.
Yasawat Santi Ratsintop.
Bomi Kim.
Corey Mia Shabumbi.
Patrapon.
Sean Shing Steve Lin.
Jeffrey R. Yo.
Divya Sani.
Weekend and Evening MBA. Sachin Shind.
Yuchi Liu.
Prasad Rajamanar.
Nitin Kanagaraj.
Vignesh Krishamore.
Rahul Prakash.
Zenli Zhao.
Peter Woodman.
Tony George.
Ishwar Cheguri.
Robin Korean.
Marcus Burrell.
Corey Long.
Nikhil Rahul Conero.
Aeneas Francis Kane.
Anthony Phillips.
Aklish Katapali.
Jason Todd.
Samuel Levine.
James Freeling.
Nikhil Tanaji Sakpal.
Brian Gorski.
Donnie Hendrick.
DJ Geiger.
Nihar Desai.
Pratik Saxena, Prashant Muralidharan,
Duncan Hart.
Andrew Held,
Benjamin Hess.
Alexandra Skolton,
Alexandria Solis Mulin.
Christine Taft,
Teresa Broniak.
Emily Richmond,
Annie Maxim.
Ava Kiblovi,
Robbie Denchi.
Ina Shala,
Laura Perkovic.
Kevin King,
Michael Husky.
Alex Ostergaard,
Michael Calvis.
Winter Mortz, Mona Iskandarani,
Yale Locks.
Seth Atkinson, Sandeep Cherukuri,
Archana Hedge.
Bhargav Saripalli,
Anu Batula.
Rajeshwari Gorthi,
Devin Anderson.
Anthony Alcaraz, Rudresh Ekantappa, Vishnu Gotipati, Gaurav Hosur,
Jacob Dabrowski.
Kanika Saxena,
Jenna Gibbons.
Leslie Carlson,
Sophie Huck McGinnis.
David Walter,
Maxwell Tillotson.
Paul Che,
Jonathan Barch.
Timothy No,
Jacob Davenport.
Ryan Wagner,
Gangyu G.
Eddie Davalos,
Heil Ermas.
Bojon Song,
Trevor Manzera.
Sean Sandhu,
Matthew Gerard Pembroke.
Kevin McTighe, Srinivas Karthik,
Soham Patel.
Sankarsh Egbote,
Vishal Bara.
Madhu Loknath,
Cody Nelson.
Graham Goyet,
Trevor Neese.
Tristan Rojek,
Omar Mugrabi.
Patrick Adamus,
Brennan Skolton.
Ryan Masters,
William O'Hara.
David Henderson,
Ryan Pendergast.
John Good,
Wayne Lee.
Sharmishta Roy,
Zen Feng.
Elin Tian,
Zhongyung Zhao.
Jay Liu,
Sean Carroll.
Wes Studi, Nish Podakudiyar, Thomas Alumutil,
Yan Chen Sean.
Kyle Hall,
Anand Ajit Kelkar.
Fui Wong,
Indu Venugopal.
Michaela Mastalone,
And now the full-time MBA program, Section 1, the true leaders and the best. Mike Johnson.
Matt Liu.
Amit Parmar.
Maximilian Werner.
Jeremy Miranda.
Annie Eng.
Aruj Parajuli.
Abhi Senexa.
Tianhang Fan.
Claire Haney.
Hannah Mooney.
Jake Reynolds.
Anant Tiku.
Tiffany Lee.
Sam Klaus.
Ben Canestrano.
Alexander Dennis.
Joshua Fan Gruber.
Jenna Weinstein.
Praveen Mahadran.
Andrew Hager.
Omar Al-Sharif.
Yuri Carrero.
Ankit Namdev.
Lindsay Tracy.
Urvi Narang.
Brad Wyant.
Audrey Falk.
J.U. Kim.
Travis McHugh.
Dylan Rich.
Danielle Moranye.
Grant Potts.
Sneha Priya Kanan.
Cole Letherby.
Camilo Malarino.
Andres Uribe Botero.
Sergio Pesquiera.
Andrew Maloney.
Olivia Harris.
Cesar Diaz.
Marisa D'Souza.
Lizette Ramirez.
Sarosh Irani.
Manmohan Singh.
Nicholas E.
Kyle Grisson.
Chu Ko.
Sunhua Oh.
Joseph Andrew Kind.
Yasin Tagvai.
Ipe Numata.
Lingzi Su.
Benjamin Ottolini.
Zach Perkins.
Janaki Bachlander.
Sabika Siddiqui.
Yuan Zhang.
Ria Cherian.
Manuela Varela.
Ira Yun.
Ufoma Oje.
Madiha Kabir Chaudhary.
Nishta Sahoni.
Tina Makani.
Malik Ater.
Kevin Wolf.
Saif Ullah Khalid.
Mehta Kapoor.
Richa Swami.
Renuka Agarwal.
Yaswant Tandikonda Tandava Mani Venkata Sai Pravan. Mark O'Connell.
Victoria Rudnicki.
Full-time MBA, Section 2.
Section 2 spicy for you.
Hooker White.
Michael Ruoff.
Sukju Hong.
Ben Quasi.
Jacob Goetz.
Joshua May.
Tim Bork.
James Ryan McManus.
Ariana Vespa.
Sam Stead.
Stu Carley.
Reeve Carver.
Carrie Albers.
Alexandra Bull.
Isabel Bonneman.
Samantha Anders.
Graham Beck.
Karthik Saxena.
Tashir Chaparia.
Zoila Pang.
Bokai Sait.
Saksham Singh.
Siddhartha Srinaduni.
Antonio Villalobos.
Siddharth Somalinga Primkumar.
Norma Ramirez Ruiz.
Harshita Sinha.
Cassidy Forer.
Samina Munoz Alba.
Alexandra Ricketts.
Shivali Rao.
Jeremy Go.
Drew Davis.
Stephanie Book.
Guangzhan Wang.
Xinyan Wang.
Halima Saeed.
Richa Agarwal.
Alessandra Eichelberger da Silva.
Karen D'Souza Martins.
Mega Tiwari.
Ashasna Mehta. Anju Jacob.
Uswa Iqbal.
Diaz Dostanovuk.
Haksu Shin.
Ko Musheki.
Jordan Oranger.
Andres Peralta.
Sid Plackett.
Aniket Bhatia.
Zachary Kobe Johnson.
Ashraf Jaber.
Yuming Liu.
Natasha Gajaria.
Daksha Tike.
Onyedika Okoli.
Debangana Sakar.
Andrew Ebenezer Timenta. Tolalupe Ogunsola.
Mohsen Kabir.
Zhenggang Lee.
Anna Tadori. Julie Adhikari.
Ali Lamont.
Full-time MBA, Section 3.
Brennan Doherty.
Anthony Fritz.
Sebastian Fort.
Juan Nova.
Nathaniel Hinesley.
Diego Williams.
Sid Akineni.
Carrie Hitt.
Lily Wilson.
Samantha Schmidt.
Rohit Agarwal.
Michaela Merchant.
Macy Guthrie.
Melanie Worm.
Edith Toe.
Raina Lawn.
Robert Squires.
John DeLisa.
David Gurman.
Gabriella Meka.
Lauren LaMonica.
Nishil Patel.
Brianna Ross.
Sonali Vijay Siri Wardena.
Bryson Tiara Potterfield.
Zihan Pan.
Oyez Riskanov.
Jahui Shu.
Lonray Adebayo.
Hura Kimil Sempao.
Dan Sullivan.
Tanvi Saja.
Akarsh Shukla.
Kevin Mohanram.
Farzan Ahmed.
Hani Fagi Khorsani.
Mingfei Liu.
Jeff Richards III.
Joseph Allen Carlson Hawkins.
Benedicta Miarco Mensa.
Jin Young Wang.
Pavni Satya Sri Chanmam Sati.
Ashwarya Dume.
Siddhika Gupta.
Abhishri Karmakar.
Mansi Sanghai.
Dara Patel.
Jatin Sharma.
Aaron Alolu.
Michelle Petrasco.
Trace Grain.
Diana Yin.
Emily Dusi Gulmano.
Harsh Vardhana Yogesh Joshi.
Kayo Marguchi.
Mariana Fatini.
Andres Teneopaz.
Ryosuke Takanaka.
Michael Somantri.
Vincenzo Cacavo.
Jonathan David Zelke.
Mayank Garg.
Sunain Azim.
Andrew Chang.
Sai Pranith Chana Reddy.
Ankita Bansal.
Vraj Mehta.
James Gibbard.
Ziyi Liu.
Let's give it up for Section 4! Woo!
Ricardo Popescu.
Jonathan Wilmot.
Mitch Pollock.
Samantha Madnick.
Celeste Davis.
Kanika Malavia.
Shay Furman.
MBA Council President Dia Roy Rambatla.
Woo! Sean Hines.
An Vo.
Ashay Gupta.
Alexander Elverson.
Soho Chung.
Andrew Byers.
Kareen O'Connor.
Kara Silverman.
Jai Singh Yadav.
Mariana Canepa.
Valeria Cabrales.
Daniela Torres.
Nassim Salam.
Jorge Melian.
Jose Villalba.
Ryan Moon.
Jacqueline Belleville.
Swetha Kadapa.
Danica Catherine Fong.
Mary Patton.
Nikhil Rajan.
Chirag Gidwani.
Rob Costa.
Michael Konetsny.
Jane Hong.
Harnika Rachmala.
Swati Suman.
Zhenghao Daisy Lun.
Yue Zhang.
Nikita Merchandni.
Ananya Sethi.
Madison Darish.
Stephanie Chan.
Zain Umarani.
Max Carter.
James Spies.
Haley Sachs.
Annie Kartheiser.
Mackenzie Mock.
Valerie Crum.
Mahima Obarai.
Jacob Kennedy.
Tyler Ringler.
Matt Demeline.
Roland Smith.
Zvonimir Rajic.
Nick Panerel.
Prince Harry Na Opakarawari.
Erhan Subal.
Vashishta Se.
Garrett Harris.
Toshi Terai.
Todd Maslick.
Guanyang Liu.
Larissa McAllister.
Nelly Avila.
Shaylee Galani.
Laura Lasich.
Omo Balanle Abidu.
Hardawale Ashimolawo.
Milwanda Pratama.
Yunseun Jung.
Haijo Lu. Abe Kipal.
David Hayes.
Full-time MBA.
Section 5, go baby. David Parker.
Risa Prakosa.
Priya Jaswal.
Giancarlo Rossetto.
Eugene Perfecquachi.
Rachel Hain.
Nishant
Dan Rosenfield.
Hugin's son.
Vikrant Eliswarupu.
Manisha Vupatudi.
Brianna Tan.
Victor Ferreira.
Mohammed Fakhreddin.
Diego Jacobs.
Kyle Sino.
Matt Allroot.
Dan Sobel.
Joshua Pan.
Kayla Chernoff.
Cameron Ellis.
Andrew Johnson.
Jonah Edelman.
Alex Porter.
Max Kufel.
Sam Courier.
Jason Milstein.
Shweta Tiwari.
Sophie Gagun.
Hillary McKenzie.
Kevin Kumar Suding.
Shrishti Puri.
Bonnie Lee.
Purim Kang.
Alia Warsi.
Laura Rodriguez.
Pablo Solis.
Christopher Hen.
Harrison Willoughby.
Meena Rao Nandali.
Razika Deshmukh.
Mena Malaku.
Boma Young Arni.
Stella Tang.
Arpit Goya.
Shobit Dutta.
Abby Stanley.
Michael Fuller.
Francesca Colombo.
Lakshmi Kanan.
Brandon Clapper.
Trent Hill.
Yashvi Patel.
Xuekun Su.
Gaku Marakami.
Gus Sawicki.
Jacqueline Diggs. Rosemary Santos.
Divya Ramalingam.
Julian Nishwat.
John Makowitz.
Deep Singh. Pratik Badiger.
David Leonard.
Gabriel Urcuyo.
Angel Ayala. Qingxuan Zoe.
All right, give it up for the Masters of Supply Chain Management program. Where's your card? Mitusha Singh.
Mac O'Brien.
Amber Evans.
Christine Lee.
Janie Peterson.
Basil Francis.
Vidur Prasanna.
Augustia Vedra Kianam.
Hemant Musanur.
Wenting Shu.
Brian Cheng.
Ranjit Rajiv.
Nathan Rich Tarsik.
Don Kishore.
Yash Goyal.
Pratik Kumar.
Shreya Agarwal.
Tarnpreet Singh.
Muskan Bhatla.
Shreyas Menath.
Anuvrat Jamad.
Raj Lunawat.
Yang Liang.
Effie Tang.
Shashank Mishra.
Ankita Pamiragantam.
Harsha Seemakurti.
Dong Yang.
Yiking Wang.
Omkar Chandare.
Shweta Upganlawar.
Shika Singh.
Urvi Sudhir Purohit.
Darshan K. Ravi.
Kieran O'Donnell.
Rebecca Brody.
Reena Patel.
Brianna Allen,
Yu Chen Wang,
Jia Chi Liu,
Radhika Kadaparambil,
Jia Ling Zhang,
Huiji Tang,
Jia Lun Guo,
Ili Pan,
Ming Jie Shu,
Shuyan Kao,
Zhao Hua Su,
Yang Du,
Ashley Chen,
Ijuan Shao,
Duo Yang,
Evelyn Men,
Yang Situ,
Stella Agata,
Chen Hui Wang,
Chao Dang,
Xinyue Liu,
Nina Wan,
Yuan Gao,
Ahmed Zohair Nasim,
Xinbei Gu,
Rukha Salman, Ethan Lu,
Arjun Suresh,
Give it up for the Masters of Management. Jack Lipkind,
Jingyi Fang,
Elaine Wu,
Julianne O,
Enya Chen,
Varun Kumar Avel,
Yasmina Haddad,
Alexis Roa,
Shivali Patel,
Hassan Khan,
Abuzer Anwar,
Rashita Thakur,
Sophia Williams,
Annabelle Corinne,
Kimberly Rivera,
Mesa Hasbrook,
Asta Siljija Farrell,
Jenna Mulligan,
Jacob Cardenas,
Allison Jacobs,
Benjamin Moss,
Jessica Culverhouse,
Jessica Ann Floor,
Caroline Ann Smith,
Michelle Lee,
Haley Boylan,
Mara Sermanescu,
Saba Budalia,
Johnny Sarah,
Emily Strauss,
Casey Chung,
Joseph Leggio,
Gabriella Paulus,
Julia Picunis,
Swetha Satish,
Bensa Zabados,
Zach Stewart,
Ellie Beam,
Alana Gale,
Grace Dierig,
Elena Babbitt,
Rohan Sarma,
Yinyoy Yao,
Joey Pan,
Spencer Smith,
Zhanghua Zhang,
Uzair Shahid,
Gregory Tar,
Ella Hetchlick,
Samantha Barnes,
Maggie Hull, Melissa Kerpiers,
Alexis Bandy,
Alexander Taylor,
Ava Class,
Libby Olimgeist,
Mia Manson,
Gigi Kalabat,
Carol Dye,
Nicole Gboard,
Rajan McNamara,
Bianca Hernandez,
Adriana Calabat,
Connor Sullivan,
Orion Gangjupadier,
Kareem Barawi,
Joshua Frohawk,
Joey Arslanian,
Nicholas Hogan,
Ryan Riley,
Nathan Shomo,
Paul Sean Halls,
Ben Brecht,
Cole Lightfoot,
Benjamin Isaac,
Mary Caroline Heinen,
Emily Itzman,
Allison Chu,
Aiden Connor,
Autumn Patricia Zornick,
Joseph William Goodser III,
James Patrick Kelly,
Zachary Webb,
Alexander Shestog,
Aishani Agrawal,
Paige Lynch,
Molly Chambers,
Jordan Vital,
Lily Parzik,
Lucas Moore,
Ryan Moskowitz,
Ishan Rajani,
Robert Montagnes,
Dylan Gottheim,
Max Schilling,
Jordan Gear,
Bodie Saul,
Catherine McLaughlin,
Laura Clark,
Aaron Riley,
Hazel Shibu,
Mary Paul,
Rebecca Mao.
Victoria Rose Pinto.
Maria Aziz.
Kanoa Perman.
Lisa Patavi Damit.
Introducing the
Masters of Business Analytics. Yanis Busasar.
Casey Kusalas,
Olivia Bowen.
Caitlin Mulinex,
Lindsay Bello.
Michael Rigo,
Ryan Simon.
Luke Powers,
Adam Lynch.
Connor Duncan,
Matthew Mercier.
Ethan Wood,
Keon Noonan.
Blake Pradko,
Brett Wolf.
Rebecca Glicksman,
Julia Spilkin.
Julia Schesinger,
Nolan Birkland.
Ritika Pona,
Anant Bajaj.
Kushi Kumar,
Paru Katyal.
Tanya Kapahi,
Nicholas Ziebert.
Yusang Chen,
Yishwan Guan.
Yufei Chen,
Zixin Tong.
Jiayao Li,
Yuxiang Chen.
Chong Zhu,
Yufei Quan.
Junkong Wu,
Yin Shen.
Minri Chin,
Chopin Tong.
Felicia Bajracharya,
Sebastian Gonzalez Hidalgo.
Kishore Ravindra Rao,
Sophia Yang.
Grace Lee,
Mugda Bandari.
Meiji Subakamosani,
Kat Ga Vao.
Emmy Ying Wang,
Lu Li.
Wilson Wang,
Jiale Chen.
Un Ning,
Vatsala Jain.
Ishan Saxena,
Satya Baireddy.
Michaela Beardsley,
Marcus Kim.
Give it up for the Masters of Accounting. Leo Gabaron. Courtney Fox. Antonio Lehio. Jake Mara. Thomas Sloan. Bethany Singer. Kimberly Lorenzo. Rachel Weiss. Aaron Berg. Orienda Franchi. Chloe Valentino. Maddie Green. Ashley O'Connell. Brendan Choudoir. Trevor Wallace. Ruben Garcia. Ren Thorne. Sophie Egnatovich. Nikita Kamath. Adrian Lincoln. Ashna Abraham. Jacqueline Lee. Josie Allaire. Abigail Earhart. Hannah Bargeron. Jijing Bao. Bailan Fan. Kathy Lee. Coming Lee. Jiyun Lee. Zhichao Zhang. Taquito More. Hunter Mueller. Jamie Smith. Kelly Murray. Salvador Siegel. Daniel John Schutz. Trevor Malik. Nate Holcomb. Trey Salisbury. Jack Lauinger. Fangji Li. Devin Johnson. Colette Pompu. Taya Breda. Lydia Giroux. Elena Bader. McKenna Bader. Yu Xin Gao. Siyi Zhang. Yiyang Ye. Mei Zhang. Xiaotong Chen. Taiyu Zhu. Calvin Huang. Emily Low. Meng Meng Zhu. Silu Zhang. Ziyam Li. Yu Ling. Paul Judah. Abraham Hamadi. Xue Ying Zhang. Leping Wang,
可丁
Yuyan Yao,
Xavier Koshi,
Cameron Audie,
Gemma Panado,
Harrison Miller,
Michelle Tao,
Genta Golopeni,
Alberina Bakiu,
Nan Hu,
John Mazuk,
Jacob Kunzer,
Yaya Taylor, Feng Rui Chen,
Jia Yi Carrie Yen,
Bridges Bilkin,
Introducing the Bachelor's of Business Administration students.
Cameron Allen.
Michael Hart,
Tomasz Kovacic.
Dylan Galen,
Ahmed Anderson.
Zach Vilevicus,
Brendan Willis.
Gregory Johnson,
Garrett Bear.
Jackie Bonet,
Eva Bibisky.
Miriam Bazzi,
Ashley Lane.
Erica Castro,
Ashley Roblio.
Victoria Nigushin,
Madeline Carroll.
Elena Pfeiffer,
Alexandra Klein.
Emily Marcus,
Olivia Scaglione.
Blake Gross,
Anthony Benedito.
Andrew Van Gontham,
Elise Eichmann.
Ashvi Patel,
Renee Aliaga.
Lauren Grace Billitzer,
Avery Camdurney.
Nathan Morgan,
Jacob Bonas.
Eddie Moon,
Xin Yi Liu.
Ethan Gould,
AJ Jakjarkar.
Ria Krishan,
Selma Jarjush.
Rania Juma,
Nora Shaheen.
Rami Kato,
Ethan Van Dam.
Kirsten Higby,
Ethan Goldenberg.
Clayton Myers,
Rachel Brown.
Cece Leung,
Selena Bazzi.
Christopher Winnie,
Dawood Fazuzin.
Hayden Evans,
John Chilmargas.
Leah George,
Prachi Fodzar.
Adam Wren,
Vivake Nukala.
Jenya Patel,
Aiden Bream.
Jack Weezer,
Cardina Jaro.
Joey O,
Kyle Jung.
Josh Shepard,
Charles Harold.
Jake Zuckery,
Alexander Supashnik.
Tushar Chatala,
Unike Udame.
Yash Patel,
Dominic Lucido.
Rebecca Newman,
Sophia Servinas.
Harshini Chandrasekaran,
Audrey Becker.
Angika Jane,
Parth Nurang.
Nathan Coe,
Jared Elkins.
Anshay Aurora,
Charlotte Steglitz.
Usman Jaffrey,
Sulmar Joffrey.
Caitlin Young,
Gianna Arguana.
Angel Padilla,
Tasneen Berkey.
Angelica Gushaw,
Daniel Newbold.
Bridget Flanagan,
Catherine Stupin.
Kyle Chang,
Haley Love.
Allison and Taya.
Grace Martin,
Aisha Idris Fayaz.
Danielle Cubit,
Haley Howard.
Sophia Powell,
Caroline Grin.
Nikki Ambas,
Maya Abdallah,
Emma Puti,
Imani Somerville,
Aaron Gong,
Sandeep Singh,
Simon Davis,
Mahi Khandwal,
Stigda Tanetti,
Madison Mintz,
Victoria He,
Taylor Jankowski,
Navneet Ramadurai,
Abe Weiner,
Sophia Maria Espinoza,
Gretchen Wilms,
Nicholas Walmsey,
Ricardo Perez da Silva,
Sophia Schuster,
Andrew Backrack,
Sophie Sheps,
Megan Morsilis,
Shrilia Zhuang,
Jada Dorr,
Sophia Stru,
Cameron King,
Dylan Kapoor,
Manan Jain,
Shubh Yadav,
Zev Citron,
Sydney Hyde,
Avery Kaufman,
Sophia Sampson,
Nehian Chowdhury,
Aditya Aurora,
Justin Guo,
Samuel Strang,
Jaden Pickett,
Isha Kumbhalkar,
Dia Shetty,
Dylan Smith,
Ramsha Andil,
Allison Chen,
Alicia Quinn,
Francois Martinty,
Sajeev Shah,
Connor Chin,
Julia Kaufman,
Kate Tsai,
Stephanie Peng,
Michael Tenkate,
Turner Osterbahn,
Joshua Schaefer,
Kelly Dong,
Alice Duska,
Hannah Getman,
Jacob Herbert,
Lena Lin,
Jenny Zhao,
Candice Jung,
Zi Yang Wang,
Valentina Caceres,
Kian Yi,
George Zhang,
Shreyas Avrapali,
Lucas Pascoto,
Gabriel Labadi,
Ishan Patel,
Gokul Mutadil,
Kennedy Werdlow,
Aiden Lee Jensen,
Julian DeCollis,
Freedom Atienza,
John Schreiner,
Emily Freya,
Marcus Lewis,
Harrison Zhang,
Andrew Bickle,
Nathan Clark,
Megan Parker,
Brad Osterhout,
Mansi Gupta,
Shauna Liu,
Dia Krupashankar,
Nolan Dishman,
Sophia Zarazagala Desans,
Kavya Upalapati,
Sarah Hussein,
Bilal Aved,
Risha Serdashmuk,
Natasha Kashish,
Maya Goyal,
Jenna Lieberman,
Leah Gray,
Ilana Stilberman,
Julia Soleimani,
Molly Nick,
Simona Katz,
Simone Noir,
Hayden Katz,
Jake Woolman,
Jake Ferraro,
Aiden Nidoff,
Michael Jonah,
Akil Pulley,
Matthew Jedwab,
Ethan Jofsberg,
Sai Rishika Vinakota,
Gargi Rummaker,
Adrian Paragoff,
Duan Vo,
Jeffrey Bright,
Dylan Johnson,
Jackson Dukes,
Stanley Wu,
Eric Liu, Taylon Williams,
JT Zhang,
Rohit G. Von Geeker,
Ramsai Khan Depu,
Manan Shah,
Karan Jamtani,
Mateo Hernandez,
Sid Gupta,
Isabella Liu,
Olivia Sun,
Harper Geddes,
Reggie Tucker,
Evan Willie,
Bennett Duma,
John Hartle,
Adam Cox,
Lauren Marshall,
Shelby Glabman,
Christoph Illigman,
Linus Epstein.
Jonah Liss.
Michael Cohen.
Ethan Wiederhorn.
John Leibowitz.
Matthew Risch.
Jack Judds.
Cameron Goodlow.
Matisse Cole.
Fred Lohman.
Emmett Houlihan.
Akshitha Januga.
Jim Wong.
Evelyn Zhang.
Charles Lewis.
Kent Bauscher.
Abby Fulton.
Jolie Ubodi.
Sophia Smith.
Alyssa Chin.
Justin Esade.
Hunter Heyman.
Xander Black.
Yasmin Mansi.
Dana Clafton.
Emma Rumman.
Arnav Puri.
Amin Shah.
Gabriel Schwartz.
Michael Donnelly.
Alan McMillan.
Mac Chung.
George Goldcool.
Ava Kozinski.
Lauren Cuppy.
Adam Jason.
Jordan Jacobs.
Colton Guzman.
Alexis Fargason.
Yena Kwan.
Harika Guri V. Reddy Gari.
Kira Ridzik.
Disha Gupta.
Ronith Gunji Gunta.
Pranay Gupta.
Michael May.
Hayden Cohen.
Jonah Matheson.
Aryan Kadola.
Luke Cavan.
Ethan Moreno.
Declan Coyle.
Kai Yamasaki.
Angela Chow.
Matt Schumacher.
Joseph Glassner.
Samantha.
Leslie Washington.
Will Robinson.
Mackenzie Martin.
Dylan Tank.
Kabir Singh.
Anish Vaikalapati.
Parker Zane.
Joshua Lichterstein.
Hayden Jacobs.
Ryan Grant.
Sean Rue.
Raymond Kong.
Emily Sun.
Hannah Turanicki.
Harika Billa.
Leo Scheer.
Jake Costantino.
Connor Alt.
Ethan Cohn.
Rishika Pinreddy.
Isha Ferozi.
Susanna Metz.
Rebecca Young.
Angie Yu.
Samuel Peterson.
Daniel Hood.
David Burton.
David Binen.
Jonah Hemowitz.
Benjamin Talpolaski.
Jack Watson.
Khadija Halal.
Sean Dougal.
Sahid Shankar.
Cody Kraus.
Nicholas Shoemaker.
Nicholas Horsfall.
Nicholas Grube.
Hudson Elegant.
Ansel Frost.
Connor Hunt.
Parker Nolan.
Caroline Powell.
Megan Irby.
Mia Friedman.
Maya Franweiler.
Andrew DeGisi.
Lauren Osik.
Jamie Simone.
Laura Brahm.
Luke Deskins.
Shivangi Gupta.
Amuya Raju.
Taylor Jewett.
Gabriella DiDomenico.
Alexandra Gable.
Alexandra Kadzierski.
Aubrey McKinley.
Morgan Nicole Scaff.
Sarah Karagian.
Isabel Cruz.
Hope Whitney.
Timothy Nielsen.
John Carthew.
Mitchell Wolf.
Peyton Wilkening.
Jack Roger Rowe.
Rodrigo Velasco. Samantha Sardina.
Emma Gavriluk.
Andrew Mott.
Maxwell Grinold.
Jonah Glenn.
Nathan Zuber.
Dean Kossoff.
Gavin Rourke.
Peter Kane.
Francis Allen.
Andrew Zoe.
Joseph Scaglio.
Cole Stotts.
Riley Manwaring.
Charles Taunt.
Zachary Pryor.
Baha Karufa.
David Zane Wilk.
Andrew Fedrizi.
Yasmin Yavinsky.
Stephanie Zhang.
Roshan Abdusmuli.
Evan Wu.
Akam Matokni.
Tariq Habibi.
Gavin Denman.
Zachary Swartz.
Divam Mittal.
Brendan Brown.
Shabran Bala.
Zachary Witz.
Catherine Merrifield.
Dallas Hobson.
Donovan Jones.
Yingruo Xu.
Julia Heilman.
Davis Warren.
Gabrielle Pacifico.
Shasi Yamini.
Juliana Panetta.
Madeline Cantor.
Maddie Wilson.
Alex Guberman.
Melissa Hahn.
Barry Lantum.
Grace Yen.
Nantana Chenpong Sang.
Annie Guo.
Hannah Brownstein.
Jonathan Chen.
Catherine Chang.
Sarsi Kiran.
Avnika Surapaneni.
Nabil Madi.
Michael Kim.
Andrew Yang.
Jennifer Kim.
Joanne Chi.
Megan Huang.
Carly Bailiff.
Caroline Cook.
Morgan Spalding.
Lauren Berry. Emma Borofsky.
Carly Schneider.
Sydney Laper.
Mila Scott.
Lillian Satterfield.
Manya Rosenhall.
Alyssa Nath.
Shaiha Sealer.
Julia Cornwell.
Luke Lobo.
Grace Greenup.
Mitchell Meyer.
Emmeline Braun.
Ella Pace.
Anjali Badrian.
Jillian Cotis.
Brendan Kraus.
Brinda Rajakumar.
Donovan Jackson.
Sneha Shrinketh.
Amanda Jong.
Fiona Lamonto.
Vincent Wei.
Vidik Khatar.
Anditya Dangra.
Freddie Rusad.
Antonio Flores Vega.
Roberta Rangel Jr.
Christian Bright.
Priyanka Manthavan.
Matthew Levy.
Trent Coppert.
Eric Young.
Megan Eng.
Melissa Sue.
Karthik Chituri.
Adam Kane.
Aditya Baput.
Mackenzie Kolziki.
Faye Shal.
Jimson Yang.
Pinrana Thanti Viramanon.
Vasin Shanate Puporn.
Maya Sun the Racin.
Shravi Kutari.
Mithili Lokam.
Emily Dominguez.
Winnie So.
Sarah Gaitan.
Catherine Lynn Clip.
Ahmed Udin.
Af Jalor Deepu.
Saya Althebte.
Janae Dias.
Brooklyn Bates. Angela Lee. Desiree Pearson.
Bryce Lee.
Megan Douglas.
Victoria Ann Block.
Kayo Bok-Inshus.
Jack Ignatowski.
Maurice Barneo.
Zaid John D.
Lochens Gilliam.
Yang Ma.
Omar Mundra.
Alwyn John.
Amol Kirtain.
David Togmajian.
Amelia Zhang.
Madeline Chen.
Matthew Zhang.
Megan Ko.
Jess Wang.
Justin Wentnick.
Claire Adams.
Trishan Heim.
Noah Eaton.
Andre Bourdet.
Brett Sherwood.
Hillary Simons.
Helem Bernal.
Tamia Tolbert.
Ethan Colkin.
Lev Schuyler.
Zach Kutnick.
Siddharth Kaul.
Zach Schneider.
Tucker Reinhard.
Dylan Goldstein.
Jordan Rao.
Daniel Goodkin.
Paige Renee Pierce.
Miles Seifert.
Alexander Weinberg.
Jacob Albert.
Barry Sabin.
Ashwin Balaji.
Isabelu Falcon.
Abby Leung.
Michaela Huang.
V. Dang.
Caitlin Dundini.
Caroline Rutigliano.
Iman Chinoy.
Abigail Kunebelkamp.
Isabella Saunders.
Amit Namugoder.
Miu DiTrolio.
Jackson Goon.
Rebecca Macias.
Annie Wang.
Shuhan Lin.
Mark Platt.
Brett Corey Sunke.
Jack Fiddler.
Adam Nathan.
Ozzy Perlman.
Felix Elortihi.
Andrew Wilson.
Ian Burns.
Dominic Jadis.
Trishan Bounds.
Dean Koenig.
Jack Scheckman.
Eli Ratzin.
Zach Lepidus.
Sam Heller.
Annie Huang.
Amy Chen.
Nandu Najum.
Anna Ho.
Claudian Kolovozi.
Jay Friel.
Anne Zhang.
Jessica Jiang.
Jesse Chen.
Srilika Shirakuvada.
Ulenu Wu.
Ju-An Oh.
Dorothy Zinn.
Isaac Lightman.
Nathan Elliott.
Claire Gleason.
Ellie Foley.
Peter Zhao.
Kathleen Lukutu.
Kelly Mondong.
Dakshish Daruri.
Janovi P.D. Mukola.
Ashwarya Arvind.
Varad Mule.
Rishi Juneja.
Nitya Balusu.
Meha Najireddy.
Gabrielle Nash.
Megan D. Francesco.
Ava Dominic.
Christopher Gora.
Kimberly Dennis.
Ria Sharma.
Arianel Tails.
Rithika Patel.
Calvin Gia.
John Teal.
Nathan Wu.
Brandon Hua.
Nathan Ma.
Garo Amerikanian.
Aaron McCann.
Isabella Koye.
Akshay Brahmbat.
Jaydev Pant.
Lucas Fleming.
Joseph Lagenza.
David Salahi.
Hu Sane Yusin.
Jack Mon.
So Min Park.
Justine Chen.
Aaron Ubramowitz.
Kira Berger.
Robbie Hudzinski.
Joseph Henley.
Sam Chang.
Brian Zagui.
Jonathan Zankich.
Amin Daga.
Wow, amazing. Aren't there any more of you waiting to come up? That was really fantastic. My cheeks hurt from smiling. It's such a pleasure to be able to greet all of you as you walk across the stage. And I want to say to all of our graduates, on behalf of our entire Michigan Ross community, congratulations. One more round of applause. It is our privilege to officially call you alumni of the Ross School of Business. You are now part of our esteemed network of more than 58,000 Ross graduates and over 682,000 University of Michigan grads living in 179 countries around the globe. And to honor you, I would now like to invite some special guests into the arena. And finally, to close out our ceremony, I'm going to invite Christian, Jaden, and Priya to the podium to lead us in singing Hail to the Victors. After that, I ask everyone to stay where they are while the platform procession recedes out. So everyone, please stand now. And Christian, Jaden, and Priya, take it away.